All right, hey, welcome to our podcast today. We're talking to Will J. Roberts, and Will J., you have a wonderful testimony about Southwest Baptist Assembly. Could you share that with us today?
I'm so grateful for Southwest Baptist Assembly Lugert. 1947, it was a youth camp back then, and growing up at Sweetwater, we didn't ever go to Falls Creek, but we went to Southwest Baptist at Lugert. And I remember in 1947, a storm came up during the night, and we were sleeping in tents. We didn't have the present facilities we got now, and we were sleeping in tents, and according to them, our tent blew over, and I didn't know. I just slept on through the storm. But what I do remember about that was I felt during the service, I felt God calling me to preach. It was an overwhelming call, and I could decide to hold on to the chair to keep them going forward. But finally, I didn't go forward there, but I didn't get, the call was there. So in the fall of that year, at the church at Sweetwater, every time the invitation be given, I'd hold on to the pew because I just felt that God was calling me to preach. I'm just 12 years old. But finally I went forward and told Brother Hawkins that God's called me to preach. And he said, great, Brother Will J. is going to preach Wednesday night. Now that wasn't what I meant, but these children's camps and Falls Creek are so important. And we've got to work with our young people. We're losing so many of the young people today in our churches. But pastors, please work with the youth. And I just am grateful for Southwestern Baptist, for Lugert. And I just am grateful for Danny and for all you're doing in the churches here.
So, Southwest Baptist Assembly is owned by Great Plains Baptist Association, and it's also owned by Western Oklahoma Baptist Association. And it's our churches in Western and Southwest Oklahoma that own that and sacrifice. And the camp was started in 1945, and you may not realize this, but they had a tuberculosis outbreak, and they didn't have Falls Creek one summer. And so the pastors around Mangum and Altus in that area and Hobart, they decided to come together, and they started Southwest Baptist Assembly. They started over at Lugert at the lodge, and then they were able to purchase the property. And so an exciting time, and you can see the impact that a man who was called to ministry at 12 years old later made that decision by going to camp, and then spent 38 years on the foreign mission field serving the Lord. And so, Will J., we say thank you. Thank you for what you've done and how God has used you, and we appreciate you. God bless you.